Welcome to the first allotment walkabout video for 2014. As you can see, there's not a lot growing at the moment. Still quite cold and still windy, as you can probably hear. But thankfully the sun's shining today, and I've been doing a bit of digging just along here. This patch I dug over last year, end of last year, and I'll probably be putting some spuds in there later on, but this is the patch I've been digging today, all nicely dug over and all the weeds removed, and I'll be putting my first earlies in there, which are chitting away nicely at home. These are my potatoes that I'm chitting at the moment. These are the Sante, and I've been asked a few times which is the best way up to put these in the egg boxes, and I've always said if you look for the end of the potato that has a dimple like that, which is where the root will come from, that has to be at the bottom, and on the other side there'll be shoots. Now if you've got too many shoots and some near the base, you can rub those off. You don't want shoots coming out from the bottom of the potato, but leave 2 or 3 near the top, and then put them in your egg box with those shoots uppermost. Now I did some about a fortnight ago, which are my first early Winstons, and as you can see they've got nice short stubby dark green shoots, and that's because they've been left in the light place but in a cool place. We've got them in our dining room in front of the window, and we haven't got the heating on at the moment, so that's the best place for them. And as you can see, we've got quite a lot there chitting away, and I've got more to come yet. These are just the first that have arrived. I've got 3 more varieties. We're growing 5 varieties again this year, and my list of what I'm growing is here. So as you can see, my first early Winstons, I've got Charlotte salad potatoes, I've got Nadine as a second early, and I've got Cara and Sante. And the ones that are ticked are the ones that I've already got, and you can see the quantities that I'm getting: 29 Winston and 59 Sante. And the dates that I started chitting them, just so I know how long they've been going there. And of course, on a nice day like today, it's a good excuse for a bonfire and burn all those weeds that I've dug up. So there's the bonfire smouldering away. One job I've got planned for this year is to replace the fence between myself and our neighbours. As you can probably see from this view, it's leaning over quite a bit, and there are some patches which are pretty well broken. Of course, as you can see, it's made out of old pallets, and I've been collecting up pallets, a massive big stack of, there we go, nice big pile of pallets there. And as I say, later on in the spring, or as soon as possible really, I'll be ripping out this old fence. There's another section of it there which is badly leaning over, and part there just by the climbing frame for the beans, that's collapsed totally. My plan is to build something similar to the one I did last year, which you can see here. That's 2 pallets nailed together between posts, suspended between posts, so the base of the pallets are barely touching the ground, in the hope that they won't rot quite as quickly as the ones on the other side did. And I luckily got hold of a couple of double-sized pallets, and as you can see, they make a lovely fence. If you can get those big pallets, usually insulation panels and lightweight things get delivered on these massive double-sized pallets, and they make a single section of fence in one go, and they're so easy to put up, just suspended between 2 posts. They make a cracking job, and the fact that they're made from pallets and you get the slats of the wood. It's better not to have a solid fence because that casts too much of a shadow on the ground, and you don't want your plants and your veggies to be in the shade because they don't grow as quickly when they don't get full sunlight. So at least a slatted fence such as these pallets make are ideal. This is the next patch I'll be digging over. As you can see, it's almost a carpet of weeds. There's a few leeks over there which have been in since last year, almost a year now I've put those leeks in, but they haven't suffered over the winter. Still got some cabbages and some kale that we keep for our chickens. They love to munch on that. The more greens they get, the brighter yellow the yolks become, so we always grow extra crops. And as you can see, they're under a netting cage to keep the birds off, because we don't want the pheasants to eat all our precious chicken food. Another thing I like to do is use an old wheelie bin. This one had a broken lid and the council never collected it, so I turned it into a comfrey bin. I put a tap on it, and as you can see, out comes a lovely, what I call liquid gold plant food. And all that is a bin full of comfrey leaves, topped up with water, left to break down in the water, and then eventually you'll get this lovely brown liquid out of the bottom, and that's free plant food. Can't be bad. I built a storage bin for some horse manure end of last year, and let's have a look and see what it looks like. I've got plastic over the top and I've weighed it down with bits of wood and bricks, and if we just peel it back, we'll have a look and see. Oh yes, that's rotting down really nicely. So that I will be spreading out over the patch I've dug over today, so that the spuds get plenty of food to grow big and to grow some nice big spuds. And here are the onions that I planted last October. We've got Sensu White, and just over there we've got some red winter ones, and they've overwintered rather well and they still look good and healthy, putting up nice tall leaf shoots there. So we should be digging those up in the early spring. Looking forward to those. This time of the year is a good time to prune your fruit trees. These are some Cox's orange pippins that I put in 2011, so this will be their third year. I didn't do much pruning last year because I wanted them to get some nice strong growth on, and I've cut these back. I did them last month actually, and I've trimmed them down roughly to about a third of the length of each branch, taken out any branches in the centre that cross over, and as you can see there's plenty of nice looking buds coming on there, and let's just hope that we get plenty of apples this year. Fortunately last year we only had one apple off this tree, so I'm hoping this year will be much better. Looking at the amount of buds there are, looks like we should have a good crop. And this apple tree, which is a heritage variety that we got from the National Trust, is a Malus Woodbrook Pippin, and we put that in, actually we had it in a large pot at home but it didn't do so well there, so I've decided to plant it in the ground here. I dug a hole, put plenty of muck in the bottom of the hole, backfilled it with a bit of soil, popped the apple tree into the hole, and then pressed it well down with my foot, and hopefully we'll have some fruit off that maybe next year. Just leave it this year. I haven't done any pruning, I haven't done anything to it, just planted it, and we'll give that a a year to get established. And last but by no means least, we've given the pond a bit of a clean. We've trimmed some of the plants. We've got lots of oxygenating plants in there. Water's looking lovely and clear, so the plants have been doing their job. We've cut back some of the grasses and some of the other plants that are in there, and soon we should start to see tadpoles. We had quite a few frogs in there last year, and we're hopeful for even more this year. With all the rain we've had, you can see it's kept the pond nicely topped up. I've made it so it's self levelling, slightly higher at one end, but at this end it's a bit lower, and it's got a sloping sort of beach in, like a sloping section inside, so the frogs can easily climb out, because the far end is the deep end and this is the shallow end. So that's the allotment walkabout for today, and I hope you enjoyed it, and look out for next month's allotment walkabout. Bye for now.